Gather round, everyone, gather round. Today, I'm going to tell the tale that saved our village, that this very chair I sit in came from. It is an old story, older than me, in fact. You see, there was once a time where we lived side by side with the spirits of the forest. We would make offerings to them, and they would protect us. The spirits were both gentle, felt in the breeze, and mighty enough to make the earth rumble. Now, every day, the young women of our village would venture to the shrines in the woods and give small offerings of things we created in the village, things the spirits could not create, like little cakes. Over time, though, we found God, and as good Christians, we turned away from the spirits. Eventually, we forgot what they did for us. We no longer heard them in the wind through the trees of the forest. Over time, the spirits dwindled and left the forest. Only a few remained as they sought places where people still remembered them. However, Isolde continued the traditions and made the offerings. She thought, why were these spirits not of God's making too? And she continued to honor them with small offerings from the village. Now, only the Great Spirit, the sacred Raina, remained in the woods and whispered to us in the trees. She loved the humble offerings brought by Isolde and continued to protect the forest and the village. She was powerful, but even her power was slowly fading. It was one such fateful day, as Isolde left her offering, that a great evil in the mountain awoke, smoke and ash erupting, and the ground itself rumbling. With a deeply saddened heart, the Great Spirit Raina knew the forest and the village would be doomed, destroyed by the evil force of the mountain in liquid fire and brimstone. Her power as it was, she could save the forest and herself, or she could save all the people of the village. Then, images of Isolde came to her, the girl's gentle smile as she made the offerings. Isolde had kept faith with the spirits. Isolde had continued the old ways while embracing the new. Raina had little time to make a decision. She chose to return faith and loyalty in kind. In all her power and glory, Raina left the forest towards the village, as the villagers screamed in panic at their demise. The Great Spirit entered our humble village, smiling at Isolde as she passed. She raised her hand high and poured all her power out, raising a great barrier over the village and speaking to the mountain to divert the worst of its power. Raina held the barrier and talked to the mountain for 3 entire days. With each day, she weakened. Isolde and the villagers brought her offerings, but she already knew her fate when she made her decision. At the end of the 3rd day, the mountain quieted, the liquid fire slowed, then stopped. Raina fell to the ground, her light diminished, but she had saved our village. Isolde cradled her until the Great Spirit faded into nothing. The village was saved. Isolde never looked for reward in her faith and her loyalty, but one good act or kindness can beget another. Raina made the ultimate sacrifice in honor of Isolde's faith. Later, when you are at home, remember that the faith of Isolde saved us, and you should honor her and carry that forward.